አኮኩሉ ፋሚሊ የመረጃ የምክርና የአውታረ መረብ መድረክ ነው። ለእናንተ ጠቃሚ የሆኑ መረጃዎችን በጤና፣ በትምህርት፣ በንግድና በተለያዩ የማህበራዊ ጉዳዮች ይዘላችሁ ይቀርባል።
Reports from the juvenile system came out last month. The first one is the Nebraska juvenile justice system. Well, the detention system, the juvenile detention system, it needs some kind of improvement because our youth are being confined to solitary confinement more compared to the previous years. Compared to the previous years where in collective there were 57,000 hours. In this 23 to 24 year time, there were double of that amount of hours where our youth spent in solitary, 119,000 cumulative hours in detention centers. This is alarming because our youth are being kept in solitary confinement compared to the previous time. It affects their mental status, their overall well-being. Well, what we need to know, the first one is the reason why they are in solitary confinement. The first one is security and, the training of the personnel in that detention center or in the detention centers. Our youth are more involved or engaged in complex and more crime, higher crime levels compared to the previous time. Their problems are different from individual to individual, from one juvenile to another juvenile. So this causes high security and solitary confinement. That is for the safety of the police officers, the guards and the nurses, all the staffs of that detention center. In comparison to the Nebraska report, the South Carolina has also came out with the detention center report. This is also alarming because our youth in South Carolina detention centers, they're not going to, treatment centers, to checkups, all those. There is no education, formal mentoring and education because there is a shortage of staff. There is lack of staff training. There is a security issue, a safety and security issue in those detention centers. This is a problem also in South Carolina. So what they're saying, when our youth have some emergency medical needs, it's really a problem or a question or a challenge for them to take to the emergency services because there is lack of manpower, trained manpower, and finally the education component of this detention center service is lacking way behind. So we have to know the prevention is the best way of keeping our youth from detention centers, done caring for them, done treating them in the detention center, because it's not when they go to detention center they're not going to get a better life compared to outside detention center. It gets worse. Lack of manpower, lack of training, lack of education, mentorship in the detention centers. I'll put the link in the comment of the YouTube video. Good luck.
ዌብሳይታችንን akulkulufamily.com ይጎብኙ። በሶሻል ሚዲያም ተከተሉን። አኮኩሉ ፋሚሊ